I thought I understood love, until the night she said, "He still gets me." Those 4 words hit like a punch I never saw coming. For a moment, the room seemed to close in around me. My name's Ethan, and this is how my world slowly came apart, one quiet moment at a time. Sarah and I have been married for 6 years. We first met in a coffee shop during a sudden downpour, 2 strangers escaping the rain. She laughed at her soaked shoes, and I offered her my jacket. That laugh, that small spark in her eyes, it drew me in instantly. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear felt like a promise of something lasting. We built a life together. A small, creaky old house, lazy Sunday mornings filled with pancakes, and plans for a family someday. I believe we were solid, the kind of couple that could weather anything. But now, looking back, I see all the little cracks I refuse to notice. It started with her phone. Sarah had always been private, but lately she'd angle the screen away when I passed by, her thumb quick to lock it. I told myself it was nothing, work messages, maybe, but then came the late nights. She claimed she was out with friends, yet her stories didn't quite add up. One night, she came home smelling faintly of cologne, definitely not mine. Trying to sound casual, I asked, "Who were you with?" She smiled too fast. "Just the girls," she said, but her eyes wouldn't meet mine. That's when the doubt started to creep in, slow, steady, and relentless. I didn't want to be that guy, the one who snoops, who doesn't trust, but the unease gnawed at me. Then one evening, while she was showering, her phone buzzed on the counter. A text lit up the screen. "Miss you. Call me." No name, just a number. My stomach dropped. I didn't touch the phone, but I memorized those digits. Later, after she'd fallen asleep, I checked her call history. That same number appeared over and over. Late-night calls, quick texts. I didn't confront her right away. Part of me still wanted to believe there was another explanation, but things got colder between us. She started snapping over tiny things, like dishes left in the sink. I'd catch her staring blankly out the window, lost somewhere far away. I tried to reach her, to bridge whatever had grown between us. One night at dinner, I took her hand and asked softly, "Sarah, are we okay?" She pulled back just slightly. "Of course, Ethan. I'm just stressed," she said, but her voice was tight, guarded. I let it go, but the silence between us only got heavier. Then came the night that broke everything. We were sitting on the couch, half watching a show, when her phone chimed. She grabbed it too quickly, fumbled with the screen. "Who's that?" I asked. She hesitated, then said, "Nobody." But I saw the name flash before she hit it. Mark. Her ex. The one she'd dated before me. The one she always called too intense. My heart started hammering. "Sarah," I said, keeping my tone steady, "are you talking to Mark again?" She froze, wide-eyed, caught off guard. Then she exhaled, set the phone down, and looked at me. "He gets me, Ethan," she said quietly. "He always has. You try, but it's just not the same." It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. I wanted to yell, demand answers, but all I managed was, "What does that even mean?" Tears welled up in her eyes. "I don't know," she whispered. "I just needed someone who understands." I stared at her, the woman I thought I knew, and realized I didn't recognize her anymore. "Do you love him?" I asked, barely above a whisper. She didn't answer, and that silence told me everything. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just stood, grabbed my keys, and walked out the door. The night air hit cold against my face. I drove aimlessly, her words replaying over and over in my head. "He gets me." Eventually, I pulled into a motel parking lot and sat there beneath the buzzing neon sign, wondering where I'd gone wrong. I'd loved her with everything I had, but apparently that wasn't enough. I left my phone on, half hoping she'd call, apologize, something, but it stayed silent. Days turned into weeks. I stayed at that motel, threw myself into work just to keep from thinking. Friends reached out, but I didn't know how to explain the emptiness that had settled inside me. Then, one night, my phone finally rang. Her name lit up the screen. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. Her voice was small, shaky. Ethan, he didn't answer. I frowned. What? She took a trembling breath. Mark. I called him, and he didn't pick up. I needed him, and he wasn't there. I said nothing, just let the silence hang. Then she broke down. I messed up, Ethan, she cried. I thought he was what I wanted, but it's you. It's always been you. I should have felt something, anger, maybe relief, but there was nothing left. Sarah, I said quietly, you chose him long before tonight. She begged me to come home, her voice cracking, but I couldn't. Not anymore. I need time, I told her, and then I hung up. For the first time, I felt something close to peace, because for once, I was choosing myself. I moved into a small apartment, started fresh. It wasn't revenge, just self-respect. Sarah kept texting, leaving voicemails, but I never responded. Later, I heard she tried reaching out to Mark again, but he'd already moved on. A part of me felt a quiet satisfaction, not because she was hurting, but because I wasn't anymore. I was free. I don't hate her. Love doesn't just disappear. It shifts, it changes. I still wish her well, but I'm done carrying the weight of her choices. Sometimes I drive past our old house, the one with the creaky floors and the memories, and I remember the good times. Then I keep driving. Life's too short to stay stuck in the past. And if you've stayed with me this far, thank you. It means something. Knowing someone out there has listened to my story.